G'day everyone, and welcome to another DUC Migrating to Australia podcast. My name's Wes Zant, and today we're joined by Sophie and John Gibbon. So, Sophie and John, welcome.
Hi, thank
Hi
you.
again.
So, where are we? Where are you guys coming in from today?
We're from Wiltshire, so it's in Chippenham in Wiltshire, so it's near Bath. I don't know if you've heard of Bath.
Do you say Bath or Bath?
I say Bath, but a lot of people say Bath too.
Bath. Yeah, I know Bath, not Bath. Very good. And so we'll go back a little bit, guys. So you guys are actually on a partner visa. Okay, so for you being the partner and John, you being the Aussie, but you don't sound very Aussie, mate. So what's the how long ago were you in Australia, or how did you get the Australian citizenship?
Well, I was born over there in Brisbane,
Yeah.
but I flew back to England when I was about 5,
Okay.
um, and I've been back travelling when I was about 19 for about 6 months, but I haven't been back since.
Yeah. That sort of explains the accent, mate. So what was the when your parents? So you were born here. Are your mum or dad Aussie, or are they both English? Or
They're both English. Like Dad got a job over there.
yeah,
Mum actually has a brother and sister-in-law. I've got 2 cousins over there as well in Brisbane.
okay,
So
But it was just work, wasn't it?
yeah, it's just work that got them
yeah, nice, nice. So, and whereabouts in Aussie is moving to?
The sunny coast.
Okay, and let's go back. So you've got yourself. Well, you've got yourself being Sophie, John, and we've got Rubie who's 8 and Molly who's 6. So it's just the four of you guys. Haven't missed anyone?
And my mum's actually to come over with us as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, so there's 4 of us in our family, and then we're taking John's mum. So
And how did that come about, guys? Was it you did like yeah? That's an interesting one. How you just plan
Well,
for that?
we're quite a close knit family, and mum was on her own, and we
Yep.
like it was a biggie like decided for us like we didn't want to leave her on her own, and I honestly didn't think it would happen, but I had a convo with her to see if she was interested because we'd been thinking about it for a long time, and she was well up for it, and she didn't actually want to leave when we came back when we were 5.
Okay.
Dad did come back with work, but she would have stayed there. So
Yep.
she was gagging to get back there, really.
So from you guys, like when you say you guys were keen, was it something that you were like John going, "Oh, I'd love to get back to Oz," and Sophie jumped on board, or was it Sophie you sort of instigating it? How did that come about?
John always had said, well, when we went travelling there, so 20 years ago, John and I went travelling there. John loved it, obviously, and we were just, there was never a right time, but it was always on John's mind. He'd always wanted to go back. He's always talked about it, and I've never ever been on board. I mean, I'm super close to my mum, my sister, my brother, and I've got 8. Well, I've got 7 nieces and nephews from them guys.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's never really been, and then we all had kids at the same age, and it's just never been really something that I wanted to do. And then, like, I don't know, the kids got older, all the kids are getting older and doing their own thing, and I just felt like it was the right time in our family to try it because the girls were at this perfect age to do it. And I thought, do you know what? In 10 years' time, I'm going to regret not trying it. They're
Yeah.
not going to want to go at 16 and 18. So I kind of was having a bit of I fancy something new in my career. And then we were just like, oh, let's just try it and see what it has to offer.
So when you say try something new in your career, so what is your career?
I am a midwife. So yeah,
Ah,
I've been a midwife for 11 years, and yeah, like I love the job, but I just fancy to something new and just I don't know, see what it's like to do it in a different country. So it come hand in hand really. Like they need midwives in Australia, and yeah, thought I'd try it.
yeah. Why not? Why not deliver little Aussie babies?
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. So, and what about yourself, John? What do you do for work, mate?
I'm a carpenter and like builder.
Yeah, nice, nice. So, have you got your Aussie quals yet?
Yeah, I transferred over. I spoke to a guy, Paul Vivian from you guys.
Oh yeah, Paul. Yep,
He commented on a post that I made on like a online tradie group.
yep.
He said to get in touch with him, and then he put me in touch with a lady from Avanti,
Oh yeah, yep.
and then she did my RPL, the
Yeah,
recognition part
nice.
learning.
It's just good that you got that, because the QBCC, who's the regulator, they're pretty like, usually when migrants come over, if they were the main applicant, mate, when we do the skills assessments for immigration, they're issued with their Australian qualification. But QBC is good because once you've got that, if you end up decide to get your builder's license and everything, you're pretty much halfway there.
Yeah.
So is that what?
I do eventually want to do that. We're actually going over for lifestyle more than job for me personally.
Yeah, good man.
Something I will pick up later on if I need to.
Yep.
But yeah.
So you just said a really key word, mate. So lifestyle. So what's your lifestyle where you're now in? I'm going to get this right. Bath. What's the lifestyle like now?
It is good, but I've been self-employed for the last 6 years and juggling like a house extension. So like I've been pretty consumed by work and stuff, and like I'm not complaining. We live a lovely lifestyle. Like we do a lot with our families and stuff, but we just can't plan anything. We're really outdoorsy, but we can't go anywhere. It's like the weather's crap half the time. It's just yeah.
We all love camping, but we've got all the gear, but we can't ever go because it's just it's just never guaranteed weather. The sun is just not there enough, and
you're going to like the best location ever, Sophie, for like if the camping and that, because you're sort of close to some really awesome places.
Yeah, we feel like we've just exhausted all John and I have been in Chippenham now for like 35 years, so we just feel like we need to exit our postcode.
How old are you guys?
I am 37.
I'm 40.
Yeah. Okay, so young. So your lifestyle's there now, and we spoke a little about camping, but John, what do you reckon the lifestyle is going to be looking like when you're in the sunny coast, mate?
Just the warmth, mate. I can't stand the cold. Like it's like literally doesn't matter. I'm wearing like 3 hoodies at work, and everything I touch, my hands are sticking to it. It's like I hate it. But I'm supposed to be in boardies and flip flops for the rest of my life, I think.
Well, you will. You don't really get a winter in the Sunshine Coast.
Dream, mate.
We want to be like just outdoorsy more and spend more time with the kids outside, just be a bit more free and enjoy the outdoors so much more than we can here.
And Rubie and Molly, the girls, they're on board. Were they hesitant at all, or?
Absolutely not. I mean, we have obviously we didn't tell them for a long time, so I think we planned it. I mean, although it feels like a long time, it has been really quick for us. But from the January of when we decided that we were gonna make the move, we kind of held off till the summer holidays because obviously it's a long time to tell the kids. So we kind of wanted to tell them in the July.
Okay.
And, when we did tell, but obviously 6 months prior to telling them, we obviously talked about Australia a lot, so that Daddy was born there, and what it looks like, and then naturally they were just very interested in Australia because we started talking about it more. And then when we told them, they were like, "Oh wow, I've always wanted to go to Australia."
Oh, that's so nice.
They were really excited. I mean, obviously, as long as John and I are excited and happy for it, they were so for it. Yeah.
You got to plant the seed, don't you? Be that happy vibe and that into them.
Yeah.
So when did you actually apply for the visa, guys?
It was end of March, wasn't it?
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah.
And so you got the partner visa, and when was it actually granted?
2 weeks ago it was something like that. It was like we felt like it was forever, but yeah, it was about 7.5 months it took. But yeah, okay. We got the call from Vic on a Saturday morning a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's cool. And so when are you planning on actually getting here then? Are you going to draw it out a little bit, or are you just jumping on a plane?
We've booked tickets. We fly out on 8th of Jan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And did you say before, John, that you build an extension? So are you selling your house? You got a house, I assume.
We've sold it actually. We put it on the market in July. We went on holiday to have viewings on it, and we sold it in 6 days.
Jesus, that's awesome. Were you worried about selling the house, mate?
I thought I would be. I thought I'd be quite attached to it because we obviously did it to think it was going to be our forever home. But then now I just see it as bricks and mortar now, and I'm more excited about going to Australia and starting something new.
So when you get to Oz, are you guys going to rent for it? Like, are you going to rent for a bit, or are you going to use like some of the equity to buy, or what's your plans?
We're definitely going to rent for a bit. It's going to be a bit of a juggle to get everything right first time, I think, like with location, houses, schools, and
Yep.
but it gives us a bit of play to relax for a bit and just find our feet.
So,
We
so when you say like like place to stay and everything like that, what was the attraction to the Sunshine Coast when you've got a visa which you can live anywhere you want?
I've always liked Queensland, like when we went travelling, um, and it's just like this sort of more relaxed vibe. Really, we're not city people. We like the a bit more chilled out sort of lifestyle, don't we?
and we don't want to be we want to be close enough to the city where we can get there if we want to, close enough
Yep.
to the sea, but also just the relaxed lifestyle. We're quite chill people, and we just don't like the whole hustle and bustle, but we've got the option. Like we're not too far, are we, from, and we like
we've got mates in Brizzy as well. Haven't we?
yeah.
It's kind of interesting. So the Sunshine Coast is like the place where people retire. Used to be that, and then because obviously the warmth and everything, now it's just so built up and just so like it's a migrant hotspot as well, which is good.
Yeah.
But it's where you'll get lots of people like the people from the Victorian and everything like that. That's where you go on like holidays. Sort of like
Yeah.
if you're going to Queensland, you've got to go to the Sunshine Coast just to experience. That's how nice it is. Was there a close second, guys, or was it always just the Sunshine Coast?
Well, we always thinking like of Brisbane because Mum was a bit of a factor as well because she wanted to be closer to her brother who lives
Okay.
in Brisbane, just to give her that option as well.
Yep.
But yeah, it just ticked all the boxes for us really. The Sunny Coast.
So, John, so Mum's coming. So, is she actually arriving with you and then applying for a visa when she's onshore?
No, so she's a bit behind us in selling the house. She's actually
Okay.
sold it, but she only got an offer, was it about a month ago?
Okay.
So
Cool.
she's still in the process of like all that going through. She's probably gonna realistically come out about the end of Feb, maybe.
Yep.
Um, which is good. It gives us time to sort of sort everything out.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and then when she gets, because she's coming out on a holiday visa,
Yep.
and I've already spoke to Vic about it, and she says like get her onshore, and then we can potentially get her permanent residency that she had when I was born
Oh, okay.
reinstated.
Yep. Yeah, the
So
RR visa, get a return to
yeah,
residency visa. And are you guys planning on like? Are you guys sort of like gonna? Is she gonna live with you? What's her name, mate? We can't just call her her. What's her name?
it's Liz.
Liz. So is
Yeah,
Liz gonna live with you guys or?
yeah, she will. Yeah.
She's gonna live
Yeah.
with us, and then she's gonna buy, hopefully, if like visa allows or whatever, yeah. So she's gonna buy her own little place.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So you're not gonna have like a house with Liz being in the house when the girls grow up and everything like that. Just two separate houses.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
Yeah, all of that. Or we find somewhere where like we can like I don't know,
Like an
go for a
outside.
separate annex
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Yeah. Not just like a
She
caravan
might
where you
not
take
want
the wheels off, John.
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
She lives on her own. I mean, to come and live with a family of 4, she'll be like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. She's done that. And so have you got brothers and sisters and all that, John?
Um, I did have a twin brother, but sadly he passed away back in 2020.
Oh,
So
sorry to hear, man. So, yeah, so for you, I guess, bit of a threat because Sophie mentioned before that she's quite close with her family and everything like that. So for you, it's probably a little bit easier, I guess.
yeah.
And then Sophie's got like, how are you going to deal with your siblings and all the nieces and nephews?
Yeah, so well, John and I have been together for 20 years, so we're both really close to my family as well. So
Yeah.
we'll both find it really difficult because we have great relationships with them. But my sister, who I speak to every day, she was my biggest cheerleader. She was like, do you know what? Go for it. Like, life's for living. You've talked about it so much. Just go and do it.
Yeah.
Can't hear you talk about it anymore. Just put it into place and do it. I was like, okay, yeah, all right. So actually, when she was like, do it, it made me like, yeah, do you know what? Actually, I'm going to do it, because you worry about how they're going to feel about it. But she was like, do it. And she's got 4 kids, and we'll miss them so much. But obviously, FaceTime and is amazing. And they luckily can afford to come out, so they're all going to come
Yeah.
out next year already. And then my brother and his wife and 3 kids. Obviously, we're so close. So they were gutted, but they understand. Like my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, her brother and wife her brother and sister-in-law live out there with their 3 kids. They live in Sydney. I was like,
Yep.
oh, so we're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. When you come out, you can see all of us. And yeah, so they actually said, do you know what? We actually speak to my brother and his wife and the kids more than we speak to you, because we make the effort more. So she was like, I have no doubt that we will still be super close. And and we go on holiday as families like every other year, so like 16 of us.
Wow.
Yeah, it's amazing because the kids are like, there's 9 of them, they all just are the same age. It's great. But we just said we're gonna either meet in the middle, like Thailand, or get them to come to us. So we'll make it work. But yeah, I mean, we just realised that life, you've got to focus on your own family at times, and
Well, you still make
work.
memories. You'll just have to work harder at making the memories. But then you get like that excitement at the airport when they rock up at your house, the surprises and everything like
Yeah,
that.
for
They're,
sure.
sort of cool.
My mum is like, she lives on her own, and I'm like, know her whereabouts. I know everything about her, what she's up to. I think like she'll desperately miss me because she helps with the kids and she like pops in for a cup of tea. So for her, it was much harder. I was more nervous about telling her, but as the years gone on, I think she's realised she's so lucky to have 3 healthy children, and yes, she will miss us desperately. But again, do you know what? She can afford to come, so she will come really often. She said as long as she books a flight before she says goodbye every time, she's okay with that. And she'll come and stay with us for like a month at a time is her plan, like maybe a couple of times a year. So that's her plan, which would be awesome if she could do that.
Yeah, no, I really hope she can, because it's it just makes it nice even for the girls as well, just to have that extra person there, because they'll probably miss everything as well. If you go on holidays and you're a tight family, like I think, like I'm old, I'm like 40 odd now, early 40s, but when you grow up, cousins are like your friends. Because when I grew up, we didn't have like mobile phones and everything like that. It was like a landline, so it was just the family just rocks up. And we've got a large family, so it was so exciting to see the cousins and everything as well. So I'm sure the girls are going to miss that. But as you say, FaceTime, they get to share their experiences as well. You watch how much they'll learn from each other. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's really you get those special sort of moments like birthdays and everything like that. Guys will probably be pretty hard for you, I guess, as well. Like when you're away from that, knowing that they're all catching up. Have you sort of thought about that, or am I bringing up too much negative stuff?
No, not at all. No, we've definitely thought that, because every year we have a cousin's birthday party, because who needs friends when you've got 9 cousins? Do you know what I mean? Like,
That's what I mean. Like that's
but it's just we're realizing that as they're all getting to their, like, I've got a couple that of nieces and nephews that they're nearing like their teenagers, so they're going to start dashing off, and it's just those kind of things you think you could sit here and hold on to those memories forever. But actually life does change, and we'll pass the boat where we can do it and do it successfully with the girls and then want to do it. So yeah, I think, yes, we will absolutely, we're not in denial about missing that kind of stuff. We will, but
you feel guilty a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, of course you do feel guilty, but
just because I don't want to throw you under the bus, but I mean, we do these podcasts so other people can sort of like be educated and sort of think of things that maybe they haven't thought about yet, and then getting people who have done it, been there, the emotional side, the perspective of it. Like, I think, listeners, what you got to understand is these aren't I don't know, they're organized podcasts. We meet at a time, but we're not sort of scripted. It is just like a general chat. So poor Sophie and John and the other people that we interview, I sort of do throw them under the bus a little bit. And Sophie, have you thought of any hospitals or anything like that? Have you done a bit of research in hospitals where you'd like to practice your trade there?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd like to work in the Sunshine Coast University Hospital. It's a lovely hospital, but currently there's no midwifery jobs there. But I will I keep looking, and obviously where we're going, they're not in desperate need of midwives, because they're, well sought after areas. So, but that is exactly why we're going. We're going for the lifestyle, and the work will fit around that. That hospital is ideally long term where I'd like to be. But I've applied for a job at Redcliffe Hospital, which is North Brisbane. So it is an hour's drive from where we're going to be, which is a lot for me, because I currently have a hospital 3 minutes here from my house. So, but a lot of girls I work with do already travel an hour. So I feel like I'm just really lucky. So maybe it is my turn just to put in the miles just for a little bit, just to get the experience until the job that I want in the area that I want does come up. But that's okay. I'm okay with that.
I sort of feel once you get in any hospital and everything like that, then the relocation side of it will be a lot easier once you get that sort of experience with it. And it's one of those things is, well, I know in Australia it is a bit who you know in lots of industries.
Yeah.
You know, once you've proven that you've got everything and all that, then yeah, it just sort of like flows in. And what about schools and all that? Have you started to look at schools?
Yeah, we've looked at schools, but again, that really just depends on what area we get for the house. So
it's a bit of a juggle between the two, isn't it? Sort of like you look at the house and if it fits all everything.
Yeah.
Schools is a biggie for us, but
because we're trying to look for an area that it's really difficult to do, I know, but that is nice enough for us to then potentially buy in that area. Because yes, ideally, I don't want to move the girls again in school.
Correct. Yep.
So that's where we're kind of looking for rental, but also looking at the prices of buying and the schools in the same area. So it's quite a big thing.
But with the market being so tight, is that you can't be too picky. Yeah. It's hard to get that juggle right.
Yeah.
So how do you go about doing that?
So we've just looked at, we know what areas we like in the Sunshine Coast. So we've told Emily, our relocation agent, which we're using with the DUC. So she is on it for us. So we kind of together, she's sending us houses, we're sending her houses we like. And then we obviously look at where it is and what the schools are in that area. So
nice.
We've put in an application with her for a house in
Budrum.
Budrum in the Sunshine Coast. But 35 people went to view it. So
wow. And guys, you don't have to answer this, but what roughly is it a week for a you said 4-bedroom house?
Yeah, we're going for a 4-bedroom, but we've obviously got my mother-in-law, so we're really looking for a 4-bedroom with extra living space and a pool. I mean, I had a massive cry.
I love that you threw that one in, John. And the pool.
I know. I literally wanted to be on the beach, have a pool, blah blah blah. And John was like, "Look, Soph, you need to be a bit more realistic." I was like, "Oh, do
I?" I think pool. Most houses in the sunny coast will have pools. I'm not 100%. Well, do they? You guys might know more than me.
Most do. Some of them don't, but yeah, we're only looking. Our criteria has to have a pool, so that was.
And we can drive to the beach, but the kids like dipping after like school and that just like it's free entertainment.
So we've said around £1,000 a week.
Wow,
dollars, yeah, £1,000, yeah.
Gosh.
So that's a week for what we're looking at. I mean, the thing is, we even like increase the budget just to have a quick look like at what else is there to offer, but it does make it so much more expensive.
You don't want to shoot
$1,000 a week.
Yeah,
but we don't want to. We really don't want to waste our money on rental because we've got a nice amount of money that we can whack on a deposit for a nice home. Do you know what I mean? So we're just trying to be realistic. But the house that we've applied for has got an amazing upstairs for my mother-in-law. It's basically got a lounge, another lounge, a bedroom, and a bathroom and a walk-in wardrobe on a separate floor. All that would suit her. And then there's a nice space downstairs for all of us. So it would work really well. But we understand a lot of people are there.
Oh, well, you've got to be in it to win it. And it's good to manage your expectations, but also to set your expectations to exactly what you want and let Emily work her magic,
Yeah. And then we can't apply for schools until we obviously know the house. And then obviously Australia's going to go into the shutdown mode. So, whatever. I'd like to get these girls into school for February, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Like they've already had 3 months in the years that they're then going to start in the new year. So
gotcha.
Anyway, so
and we'll go back a bit there because you said something really important, Sophie. So what grades will they be in when they're leaving the UK?
So they're currently in grade 1 and grade 3.
Yeah.
So they'll restart grade 1 and grade 3. Yeah.
And did they have an option to go grade 2 and 4, or they did, but you're choosing?
Yeah, I haven't got in contact with any schools. I've looked at schools and we've looked at schools, haven't we? But I haven't got in contact to ask what they'd, recommend. But to be honest, I'm happy for them to go back into the same years that they're in now.
Yeah, I reckon we did that with Jet, but he was in nursery or not nursery. I always forget the word. What's the first thing that you got? What's the first thing in school you got? Reception. See, we just call it prep. But anyway, he did reception in the UK and then we kept him into prep now, which is like amazing because he's like a big, tall, skinny, redhead kid in there. Like he's it's done him wonders to sort of stay, but he could have went up, but then he started with all the other preps, which was good. But it's a tough one. But I think most people do opt to keep them in the same year that they're at, because obviously, you guys finish the year in July and we finish it in December.
Yeah. So they're currently the eldest in their class because they're both just turned 6 and 8. So when they start in Australia, they'll be the youngest, which is weird.
Yeah, it's so good. And like, are they? So you guys mentioned camping and everything like that. Are the girls? Are they into that? Are they into the outdoor sort of lifestyle as well?
We've spent a fortune on holidays, and we asked them like, "What's the best holiday you've ever been on?" And they're like, "Camping." And we're like, "It's so easy." And they love just being outdoors all the time. And,
yeah, it's so good. Honestly, it's so good, John. When you get the Sophie's not going to want to hear this, but when you start looking at your four-wheel drives, and then you start looking at your
I've been looking, mate. I've been looking already.
Caravans, and then you walk into the fishing. You walk into the fish shop or your tackle shop, we should call it, and then you start going, I might need that one too. And then before you know it, you've got all the toys, and then you sort of, then it happens. I can't wait for our family to get a caravan. We've got a 2-year-old, so it's a bit too early. I've always had this plan about like taking my kids around Oz and sort of meeting all the families that we've migrated over the years.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'd love to do that and sort of like go into their house and get them to cook me like a meal, like to have like a sort of like a little show. What's that? Sorry?
It's a win-win, that one.
Oh, mate, it'll be so nice just to do these podcasts and catch up and really, imagine catching up with you guys in a couple of years, but going camping. How good would that be?
That'd be cool.
Go have a barbie on the beach.
But this is why you have the dreams, because I think mentally, if you've got the dreams, it's not. I mean, for you guys, obviously, John, having and being born in Australia is a massive help for visas.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. And some people have to, the English test, the skills assessment, and do all of that. But you guys still have to go through the emotional side, the preparation, preparing for everything like that. So, it's literally 2 months and you'll be out here, less than 2 months.
Yeah.
So we've been on hold for so long, but then it's just suddenly come around so quick, and we've like no time to do anything.
Yeah, we exchanged on the Friday. We got the visa on the Saturday, and then we booked the flight on the Saturday because John's like, "Should we book the flights?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Let's do it." I was like, "Okay, let's just do it because you just need to do it. Otherwise, you're gonna, think about it too much." But yeah, and I also didn't want to. We're going to live with my mum for 4 weeks. Once we've sold the house, so just to make her really sick of us, she'd be like, "Just go now already, would you?"
It's time for you. Get out.
Yeah, so we just thought actually we do want to book a flight before we go to mum's, knowing that there is like an end, like I for her as well as us, so so it'd be good.
So it must be like so where are you at now in the preparations? Like got the house sold. Are you shipping stuff, or are you starting fresh?
No, we weren't gonna. We were gonna cut everything in and start buy again. But like, I'm sending a lot of tools out.
Okay, yeah. And how are you getting them out, mate? Which one did you choose?
Gone with that 7 Seas Move Cube.
Yep.
So and then Mum wanted a few bits, so we've gone for the biggest box they do.
John, how, just for the listeners and all that, just give us an example of what that cost you, if you remember, and how full you're making this cube.
Remember, because everything costs.
God, yeah. I think the box itself is about £3,000. No, £2,500 on our side. Then there's obviously about another £500-600 on the Aussie side.
When you say box, John, is it literally a box? And
it's a big pallet basically. So it's like, I think it's 2.5 meters long by 1.5 meters wide by about 6 foot high, something like that.
But do you rent it, John, or do you buy it and then you get stuck with the box?
No, because you basically they bring a van, drop you off like a starter kit, then they go off again, give you time to pack it all and everything, and you select a second date for them to come and pick your stuff up. They open the back of the van. They give you, with the big box, you get slightly longer, but it's about 2 hours to load it.
Okay.
And then they lock it all up, send it off, and then they give you about an hour and a half the other side to unload it, and then they take it away.
Wow. So and you've loaded it and is it on its way, or is it where
No,
are
so
you
what,
at?
at the moment in the starter pack they give you like a sort of little mini tarpaulin the size of the footprint of your box, which gives you time to pack everything, lay it on this box, so make sure so you've got everything right. So when they just turn up, you know how much you can fit in there rather than just trying to wing it in 2 hours.
And it gets collected on Thursday next week.
Yeah.
So we packed everything. We're taking all like John's tools. We're taking, let the girls have like a box of toys each.
A few.
And then because we went for a bigger box, we just thought the stuff that you don't need but makes the home a little bit like, sentimental stuff. Like if you go on.
Sorry, when you say a box, like how big is this box? We got obviously you got shoe boxes and you got like massive boxes. Is it like
we've got the cube is big, like 2.5 meters. Did you say 2.5?
2.5 meters by 1.5 meters by like 1.8 high.
Yeah, so it's big. So I think you can get 48 like moving boxes in it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But we're I think we've got about 20 boxes, and then we've got all John's tools and stuff. But when we sold the house, the person who bought our house bought the entire contents of it for more money. So
well done.
Yeah, they literally bought everything. So they bought sofas, dining tables, chairs. So that was amazing for us because we didn't want to take that because obviously when you get there, you need it.
Did you offer that to them, or how did that conversation happen?
Well, they knew when we were selling. I kind of was like, ideally, I want a cash buyer. I mean, this isn't a very ideal one. I was like, I want a cash buyer. I'm selling all the stuff with it if they were interested. Blah blah blah, and literally. We got exactly what we wanted to do, and they were like a cash buyer that were moving into the area, and were happy and wanted to buy everything in it. And then I was like, then they wanted my plants. I was like, no, I'm sorry, you can't have that, or our identity if that's okay. But it was nice to know that they liked it, so that was good.
Sounds like the beginning of like a scary thriller movie.
I know.
Yeah, we did say
good job we're moving, hey. But so we just like have taken sentimental stuff and just a few of the other bits, and mostly John's tools because it just didn't work out affordable to sell them and buy them again.
Again, you just like second-hand tool, you just can't get them what it's worth. So
no, that's it's just more the reliability of what that tool was to you, not so much the cost, isn't it?
Mind you, I've spent the last 2 days just cleaning them. Like you have to be spotless to go there, and it's that's
what's the ETA then if it's getting picked up in a couple of days? How long will you be without it?
On the website it says like it's around 100 days, but I've seen a couple of posts online with people they've actually been coming a bit earlier, so they've been getting there about 70 days. But
we were okay with that.
It is what it is. I mean, like I'm not in a rush.
We wanted at least 6 weeks off as a family, really. Before when we got there, we were like, we don't want to work for a bit.
So the house that you're looking for, that Emily's going to work with you, one of our relocation agents is going to work with you for, is that like furnished or is unfurnished, or are you easy? Are you either way?
Well, I really didn't want unfussy. I really wanted it unfurnished just because.
Okay.
Well, I just think, when you're moving somewhere that is different.
Yeah, you want it fresh. Yeah, you want to make it Sophie and John's.
Yeah, and you just want to, make it yours, make it how you would have it, because you just feel like you can't relax almost when it's somebody else's stuff.
I only laughed because you were like before, you're like in the ideal world, when a cash buyer and they buy all our stuff, and you're like the other side, I'm not going anyone else.
I know.
It's just mine.
But yeah, that's fine. It's really nice. You can have it.
And what does Christmas look with you guys this year with Santa and all that coming? And how does being, because we don't know who listens to these podcasts, obviously. So we've got Santa obviously dropping presents off, and sometimes mums and dads buy presents too. Depends on the household, I guess. But what does that look like for the girls this year with presents and everything like that?
Yeah, so we always go to my someone's house. So like we take it in turns to go to families' houses for Christmas anyway. So we're all going to my sister's this year, and the girls. They've literally just had, both of them have just had birthdays as well. I was like, the timing is bad, so we have to be really particular with smaller things. Like we're like things that they can pop in bags and stuff. But they both, I said to them both, like, look, you're not going to have big things for Christmas. I don't think they're really that bothered, to be honest. There's lots going on in their head, but we said that
Okay.
we'll buy them a bike when we get there because they both need new bikes. But yeah, other than that,
Yeah.
to be honest, Santa gives them stockings and we do all the presents. So yeah, we've
Yeah,
had
the same with our house. That's what Santa does.
Yeah.
He buys the stockings. Sorry, he
Yeah.
delivers the whatever that comes in
Yeah.
the sleigh. And okay, and then because what we do with Tara's family being English and all of that, you work this out pretty quick. The cost of shipping and all that, like my mum used to do it, send it to Oz, and she'd send him like a book, and it'd be like, I don't know, a $5 book and $25 postage. And in the end, we're like, just transfer some money. So now what the kids do, I don't know if they do, I think they do this in the UK as well, but the kids have their own little accounts now. And then nans and uncles and that, they end up just like putting money into their account for Christmas.
Yeah.
And then they can buy it, what they choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, because shipping just takes forever and you're not even sure if it's going to get there.
Yeah,
Like
that's
in
what they
time.
said. Yeah, they're like, we'll just send you the money, you can buy it, and then
That's what Becky's brother does.
Yeah.
No, it's so good, guys. It's so exciting. Like, what do you think? Firstly, Sophie, what's been the most challenging part for you through this process?
To be honest, the only challenging part for me is my family. I care about how they feel, and I think I just worry how they're gonna be when I'm not here. But
Yeah.
I feel like I'm also offering them opportunities to, like, my mum's retired, and to open up her retirement a bit more. So I'm trying to look at it in positive ways. But I feel sad that I'm gonna potentially make them feel sad. But it's just a new way of living, isn't it? It's just new and a new way for them to live. So.
John, how do you support Sophie through that, mate? Like, have you spoken to her like about it? Like, what things you can do, or it's?
It was always on like Soph's idea to go, and that I didn't put any pressure on her. She's always known I wanted to go, but she had to make sure herself. I didn't want to have any input, like to make her decision either way.
Yeah.
But luckily we've been on the same page, and it's nice to see that she wants it, because I've always wanted it. But and we're both seeking something else. We're ready for change, and we both didn't want to be people where we're just stuck in the same town for the rest of our lives and miss it out.
Yeah.
Life's too short. If we've taught us anything, it's like you got to make the most of it, and nothing's going to fall in your lap. You got to make it and put things into place to make it happen. Really,
mate. That saying just gets thrown around. Life's too short, but I tell you, it is. It is. You never know what's happening around the corner, and I think to try and go there, going, nah, no regrets. And I think sometimes new beginnings obviously have challenges, but it literally is a new beginning, and the world's your oyster when you're out there. You're the same people, but you're different. I don't know, like it's hard to explain that. I probably didn't word that correctly. But I think like opportunity is just all around you over the next, the first year. You can have so much opportunity with new hospitals, Sophie, new making friends, new friends. Once the girls are at school and that, and they start doing their clubs and the sporting things, and they start going to parties. Before you know it, you guys are the ones with the funny accents with a cool story to tell. And then it's amazing how easy you meet people.
Yeah, I'm really excited to meet new people, and also for John and I to meet new people together as well. Like it's when you've been together for so long, like you have separate friends, and so actually to like have friends together, make family friends. Do you know what I mean? We're really up for and looking forward to meeting new people as well.
No, that's cool. And John, what have been your challenges, mate, throughout this process?
As well as the family, but I think the main one is the waiting game. Like in limbo for So's visa was a biggie. Like not knowing when things are going to come through. Are we going to do it in time? Like you just want to get everything started, have like the ball rolling constantly, but it just feels like you just don't know where you're going. You just got to wait, and it's when it comes through, it's such a relief.
Yeah.
Did you get the girls' visas? Their passports. I assume you got their Aussie passports, right?
Yeah. Well, it started off first. Like it's the whole process. I think got the cogs turning Soph's head again. Was I just looked in the cupboard and saw my Aussie passport was going out of date, so I just had it online and started to renew it. she saw what I was doing. She goes, "Oh, what are you doing that for?" I was like, "I don't know, just thought I'd better keep it up to date." And then she went away and then come back to me a couple of days later thinking I joking, I thought she was, like saying like, "Oh, I think we should move to Oz." I was like, "You what?"
Wow.
And then I know she had thought about it for a couple of times, but I said I still thought she was joking. But then she goes, "No, I'm serious." So yeah, she came and said, "All right, let's do it." And so she got that. We started looking at the visa process. I just happened to think, are the girls eligible for passports like how I was?
Yeah.
So yeah, we did that. And
do you know what? Go quickly out the door. John's got to go. Sorry, John's just going to quickly out the door because our skip's just arrived. So we've
You're
now
what?
just
Sorry.
like, skip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we John's got we've got quite a big garage, and John's workshop.
Yeah.
So the whole garage, obviously we're having a massive clear out and stuff, and yeah. So the skip's just arrived for like chucking all the rubbish that we don't need anymore. So yeah,
All
we've just got to
right.
quickly go and answer the door.
I know, that's fine. That's fine. Well, saying that, Sophie, like, so John's obviously, like, did he really just look at the passport once, or was it like sort
Yeah,
of
he did.
left on
Yeah,
this bench a few times, maybe,
he did. We have definitely talked about it a lot,
Yeah.
and I just said, to be honest, John, your mum would never say yes to come in. Like, there's no point having this conversation. She was my blocker, to be honest. Like, I was like,
Okay.
your mum's never going to come, so there's no point having this conversation because we just wouldn't leave her because, it's just John in the family, and
Yeah.
me and the girls are, and John are a massive part of her life,
Yeah.
and I said, look, let's just talk to your mum about it and just see what she says. Anyway, when John said, then I was at work once and he's like, I've spoken to mum. And I was like, yeah. And he went, she's up for it. I was like, oh my God. And then I was
Wow.
thinking, well, she was my blocker. And I was like, now that's it. I've got no reason why we can't go, and then it's just all like processing in your head. And then that's when I was like, okay, God, if you've spoken to your mum, I'm going to have to speak to my mum. Because I was like, I can't even explore this idea without mum knowing we're exploring it. But then as soon as you start exploring it, you start putting money in. So like, obviously John and the visa, John and his passport, the girls' passports. And then I looked into midwifery, and then I had to, register, be on
I'll
the
get you APRA.
get my APRA, and that all cost money. And then we were already like, a couple of grand in, and then I was like, well, we started the process, so it almost gets taken out of your hands because that process has started, and then you're like, let's just go for it. And then the visa, then we just thought, let's apply for the visa, and then here we are. So actually, yeah, it kind of just, I definitely was the one who said, yeah, let's do it. I'm ready. And John was just chuffed. He was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And then I was like, yeah. And then obviously I've had massive wobbles, because I was like, oh my God, this is happening. Like, but we've actually both, and John's also had wobbles, which has really helped me because I didn't want to be the only one. And John just said, to be honest, Soph, life is for trying. So I'm just grateful that you're willing to try it.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
We're both jumping in massively, like by selling the house, but we knew we wanted something different, and change isn't going to come to us. So we decided to just do it and do it properly and commit to it to give us all the best opportunity. And what is the worst that can happen? If it doesn't work out, we can come home. But we are definitely given ourselves, John's back now, but we've both said a minimum of 2 years to really give ourselves time to settle. And then
money you can replace, but time you can't.
Yeah.
So you mentioned before, like, for you guys, it's the livelihood side of it and everything like that. But have you, financially, like, it sounds like you live well in the UK. Do you feel that you're going to live well, like with jobs and that for you, Sophie, being a midwife? Is it on par with what you're earning on the UK? Is it more? Is it less? Are you taking a cut, or is it like happy days and you're earning more money?
So I will earn more in Australia. Not a huge amount. I do think like when you work it all out, I think that it all equals itself out. But yeah, I will earn more. John probably won't to start with.
I'll take a bit of a pay cut, I think, because obviously I've been working for myself for the last 6 years and doing pretty well, but to go back employed is just a bit of a dream at the moment, just because obviously I've been juggling self-employment with doing my house. It's just been so consuming.
I mean, he works 7 days a week, and we were just like, what? It's so not worth this.
And
Good on you, man. I freaking love it. Like, I love that. I love that. One of the joys of doing a podcast is I get to meet people, but also the perspective of it. Like, I really think, like, I'm doing what you're doing now. Like, I mean, if I look at this week, I assessed 7 plumbers in one. Did a double session, finished at 3 a.m. on Tuesday. It's 9 o'clock now, and you just work. I mean, I really love my job. I got a wonderful job. I get to help people get to Oz. But sometimes you just think, wow, like, wouldn't it be good just to go back to that sort of where the pressure's off a little bit too, and have that. So
you don't want to miss time with the girls, like, because like,
no,
forget what you're doing it for in the first place, and you think, well, I'm working to earn money to do stuff with the girls, but I'm not there because I'm working. It's just pointless.
Yeah. It's balancing the sacrifice, isn't it? Like,
yeah, hugely.
I'm so grateful I work from home. So I'm with the kids in the morning when, the sport drops off, and my daughter, I'm with her all day. Like, she sits, she has a calculator, which is her keyboard, just sits there typing away on that with me. But yeah, it's so good. But it's that sacrifice, isn't it? Well, you do something to do something else and you just got to work it out. And in the end, it's sort of, I think for most people, you sort of sacrifice friends, and doing a few things when the kids are young, and then you've got this whole new world just opening up to you. Like, it's just amazing. Like, you guys must be like totally pumped up now, like with the
we're buzzing,
like with what's around the corner. Like, now it's done. You've got the visas. Obviously, you got to empty your shed, mate. But the amount of great things that are going to be happening, and you're arriving. December is going to be a hot month. I'm sorry, not December. February. That's I always think that's the hottest month of the year. What weather have you got there now?
It's pretty chilly. It was like snowing yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's two today. It's frosty, cold, and 2 degrees.
That's crazy. And how do you think he's going to go in the heat? He's worried about that, or because Sunny Coast gets a bit humid?
Yeah, we love them.
I'm pretty good in the heat. I hate the cold. I'm such a wussy.
Yeah.
But you did say, didn't you? Like, oh, how am I going to work? Like, it'd be different work.
It's different work than a holiday.
Well, you start early and you finish early, usually, when you're a tradie. And your body gets used to it. But as you said before, walking around in 3-4 jackets when you're at work, it's pretty, it's not comfortable. So all of a sudden you'll be wearing, a yellow or green coloured shirt. You'll be a bit sun smart too, mate, out here. And then all of a sudden you'll be in shorts every day. And then we call them singlet tops. You guys call them vests over there. But I think that's like the Sunny Coast outfit, isn't it? Just a singlet top and a pair of short shorts.
Sounds good to me.
If I wear short shorts, I'll be worried.
I'm bored.
Do you know what I noticed here, Sophie? Like, the first thing I was in Vic, or all, like, for our age group, all the women, they wear activewear. It took me ages. I honestly thought everyone was going for like a run in the morning, and or they're at the gym, or they've just come back from the gym. And I said to my mate Holly, I'm like, "Where have you been out?" She's like, "No." Like, I'm like, "Have you been out running?" And she's like, "No." And I'm like, "Oh." She goes, "Well, why'd you ask?" I'm like, "Because you're in your athletic, like your gym gear." She's like, "No, this is just what I wear every day." And then it hit me. I'm looking around. I'm like, "Oh my God, every female is wearing activewear." Anyway, the fun fact for you.
Yeah, I don't have any activewear. I need to change my attitude.
That's it. Well, you'll have so the crew that we've got in the Sunny Coast, the previous clients and everything, they have amazing meetups. I know Becky and Tanya and that organise like lots of ladies' days and everything as well. You'll fit in really well with the group. So, but guys, I just want to wish you, well, firstly say thank you for making the time to share this, your experience with us. I think, the fact that you guys can do that, and I know the listeners appreciate that. Was there a specific reason why you guys wanted to join the podcast?
We just felt like our experience hasn't been heard on your podcast, because we've listened to all of them. So, yeah, so the fact that
we got a lot back, didn't we,
Yeah.
from yours? Like, and we just felt like if we could give a bit back to someone else and get some info to someone else that needs it, then it's also about return the favours, isn't it?
No, good on you. That's so nice. Yeah, and this is what we're doing. This is, So I just always, I'm so grateful that guests come on and do these podcasts. So if you're interested in doing a podcast, guys, reach out to our team, and if you've got a story to tell, it does help everyone. Anything you guys would like to add before we finish?
Just thank you so much for all your help from the teams, and
it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it's been awesome. The whole package is really great. From the employment side, the visa, going on to the relocation hub, it's really handy just to have it all under one umbrella. For us, it was just reassuring that it was all the same team of people.
Look, it's good. You're in safe hands. We really enjoy what we do, and thank you for your kind words. And I can't wait till we have the next podcast, guys, and see how you, Rubie and Molly, are doing, and obviously Liz. See if she's living upstairs or she's living in the I don't know, in the caravan without the wheels, the shed. See, we can see what John knocks up for her.
Yeah.
Never know. So, but anyway, guys, I wish you safe travels and everything like that, and thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
No worries. All right, listeners, we'll catch you on the next podcast. Take care, everyone. Catch you later. Bye.